here. No Woofles tonight because, well, smoke detector. Tom Houston's here, Monkey Man's here, Graham R. Dreyer, Cambridge Mart, Graham Shaw, Patrick Cranen, Frank Walker. I should turn the volume off. I've got an advert for one of those dire games where they poop in a toilet and then fall through a hole and then have to do simple mathematical problems. Slow chat is on. Slow chat is only 5 seconds. I remember today I did, Mark Gray. There was no live stream for the patrons on Thursday simply because I was at work. And it's been a very, very heavy week. It's been an extreme week. I am on time, indeed. I've got all day off today. Well, like, this is the evening and then it's back to the pandemonium tomorrow. So greetings, Liz, and greetings, Mouse, and Happy Little Fox, aka Benji. Any orange stuff? Well, there's this meter. Is kind of yellowy orangey coloured. Other than that, I don't really think there is much orange stuff in here. Quark is here. We can start the stream. I shall turn my resolution down a bit. I'm not sure what the network's going to be like. I do have a contingency plan if everything screws up, and I can bring in a backup stream. So I'm going to go down from auto to something low here and catch up on what's being said. Hello, Iron Fist. Is that a fluke? No, it is not a fluke. It is an amical. You're on the local Wi-Fi? I am indeed. Greetings back to Northern Ireland, Ian M. Are you the Reverend Big Clive? I am the Reverend Big Clive indeed. Dr. Big Clive the Reverend. This confused me so much I thought it was Saturday again. Jim Bob. What? Oh yeah. Because obviously, oh, I know what you mean then, because I was working yesterday as well, with a Saturday. But Sunday is the official day off, and only if we're not having technical problems. And we're not at the moment. How was the unloading, Bubla? Well, we had 3 trucks stacked 3 high. We've never had so many lights on the job. They weigh a ton. They're 50 kilograms, about 110 pounds each, worn out, AK back. It's been a tough week, and why am I black and blue and cut all over? I don't know what I've been doing. It's just, it seems like it's been a heavy week, but that's fine. This is what happens. Most of the hard work is done. Rambling Mage, could someone tell me who Kevin is? It's a friend who is being stalked. Oh, I'll just ram the seat into the heater here. The Patreon sneak peek looked very colourful. It is DCL, because the lighting designers are very sort of like X Factorish. It's basically, the lighting is complex in this show. There's a lot of lighting. 50 kilograms, sure, the rules for the lifting of those. Technically speaking, one person can lift 25 kilograms, Mr. Murgy, which means this is in the borderline. 2 are lifting it above head height onto a rail. To be honest, but I'm glad it gets split into 2 deliveries. It's normally just one day and then all the main lighting's up in the gantry. I'm glad it was split into 2, because by the time we got to the last ones on the first day, we were going 1, 2, 3 and then completely failing to lift it up. It ended up we had to get a 3rd person to lift it in the middle to get the last ones up. Very interesting lights. They are Ayrton Dominoes, most of them. Plus we've got some Ryobi lights. Ryobi? No, not Ryobi. Robi. Like Ryobi, but more expensive. So your bank videos for release while you're there? Yes, you'll see a backlog of videos, but that backlog is now getting smaller and smaller because it was just to give me time, because I can't make videos while I'm doing a load-in, because literally I've been getting back here, having a shower when I've been able to even stay awake that long, and then just crashing and going out like a light instantly. It's been pretty heavy going. This is a mirror and a very narrow one. Let's see if this catches the full thing. I'm not going to know if this is actually going to show you the effect. It's not. I can see in the mirror up to here. Mirrors are always put in by small people. They never put them high enough. They don't seem to understand that you don't, well, they never seem to understand that really you have to have them higher than the tallest person. And it's a classic thing that joiners mount mirrors too low. It's just because it suits them. They can see themselves in it, and therefore it must suit everybody else. They don't realise that tall people can often just be finding that they're cut off from chest height. Oh well. My live stream never started. Sorry, Zinda Magic Puffer Dragon. Talking of which, make sure the little thing is like lit, the live bit down there, because that means you will be up to date and live and not leaving comments from earlier in the stream. Same with sinks. Indeed, Morris Walker, which is why in Glasgow I had my sink on shelving brackets, so I moved it up to a higher height, and it surprised some people how high the sink was, but I don't need to stoop to go into it. Craig Matthews, how's everyone day been? I had 2 emergencies today, one a blown light bulb, the other a bad flex. That's reasonable enough, it's not too bad. Maybe something is hidden behind the mirror, maybe it's got a camera behind it, who knows? They hate tall people. Everybody hates tall people, Mr. Eggcake. Particularly small people. Have you been working today? I've not been working today, Sea of Clay. It's been a day off, which is nice. It feels like much more than a week. It's been a long, heavy load-in. Childhood's friend's house had everything mounted extra high because they were all tall, Monkey Man here. That makes sense. Your door is open. Are you currently pissing off your co-workers who want to sleep? The current co-worker is here is through on the computer, possibly watching this very stream or watching other YouTube videos while vaping. Ryan Drew says, I'm 6'6", confirm short people hate us. They do. Basin, sink, bowl, supercomputers. The supercomputer, I could put the little one on. Hold on. I'll put the little one on. The other one is at work. It's officially become the Royal Edinburgh Military 2 supercomputer. And the good news is that the printer survived last year. Let me just turn this little supercomputer on. There we go. Sorted. We have the token gesture supercomputer, and I have printed off some images, although I'm just waiting for time to actually make the videos about them, of circuit boards. Maybe just get a pair of scissors to trim these down a bit. I usually use a guillotine to remove the edges. Circuit boards. And the image in the front, which a very low resolution grainy image, there's a reason for that. It's part of a sign in Poland. The Mosaica Cafe. I like the sign. I didn't realise that in Poland, during the heyday of neon, they loved neon so much that it became a status symbol for a city to have big signs in the top of buildings. And some governments or councils commissioned huge signs for completely fictitious products to actually just keep up with it. If you wonder why the light's going on and off, it's an eco light. It's got a Doppler radar detector, and they're both faulty. One stays on, just goes off every so often and comes back on again. The other one, you have to wave your hand right up against the light to actually make it light. They're rubbish. Just the usual stuff. Have I missed a super chat? I have. Thank you, Jeff. Much appreciated for that super chat. Weezerbox, it's nice to customise your home. Yes. Will Lynch, currently in accommodation, working on a job, a show, a big show with bazillions of pounds worth of lights. Who are those people? Co-workers, a combined soldier. Not shadow people, they're well and truly here. It's strange to see sat down the job. It is indeed. It's not really practical to stand up. Erg, like in apartment buildings. Greetings back to Sherwood Forest, Spider Driver Lee. Tear down from the Doppler light. Already, I had to fix it the previous year. This light up here went wrong last time I was staying here. There's a certain consistency that last year we're in a different location, but this year we're back at an older location we've used a lot. It's a bit further out, but it's home from home. I've had this room many, many years in a row. Ghost just walked past again. That ghost is called Steve, yes. Those radar sensors are strange. They can see through stud walls and floors. They can, the chipmunk. But in this case, even when I was the first here, and the lights have been turning on and off all the time since I got here, even though there's nobody else in the building. But now they are. No Jägermunion, Franco Walker, because I went into Sainsbury's and couldn't find Jägermeister. I do, however, have coffee. Let me grab my coffee. Ugh. Oh, look at this. What a pile of shit this is. It's an LED light from Poundland, Maxim brand. It's the most minimalist. Even it's not got connectors through for the mains or the capacitor. And it's also got the glue right over the top of one of the LEDs, completely obscuring it. Good job. Really, the bottom of the barrel there. Well done. Dennis says, I'm so distracted, forgot my customary drink. Everything is random here because, greetings, Big Goth Kitty. Big Goth Kitty also works in the entertainment industry. Hi, Big Goth Kitty. We have been installing the most airton dominoes you have ever seen in your life. They're literally shoulder to shoulder, just enough room the lenses don't touch. Tons of them, and they weigh a ton. They're quite awkward. They're waterproof lights. And when you remove all 10 screws from the panel, it's a bit like taking the cover off, the valve cover off in a car. You've got to make sure the gasket is completely 100%. And then you've got to use a Torx screwdriver and go through them in a sequence to actually give even tightening. And then you have to connect a special piece of equipment that pumps them up to a positive pressure, holds, monitors the pressure, then it releases the pressure, then it pulls a vacuum, holds, and then it returns it to atmospheric pressure again. Very strange. Thank you, Chuckster, much appreciated. Greetings to you too. Would you mind closing the door? Monkey Man here, do you really want the door? Is it creeping you out? I want the door open for air ventilation through because there's fans in the toilet are pulling air through from this window. So I'm going to leave the door open. I need the air. Is it a Torx screwdriver? No, it's a Hex Torx screwdriver. Horovac. Not a joke. Do you shake your shampoo before use? Headshore bottle says so. I never noticed. I usually do fan plant. I usually just routinely, without thinking, agitate it like that, just sort of twisting it. I do that. I even shake bottles of whiskey. I don't think you're supposed to do that, but I do. The only things I don't shake are fizzy drinks, although I did that recently accidentally. Where are you going to Plaza this year? I have not been to Plaza in a very long time, Steve Perry, because the last time I tried going to Plaza, I went to book it and there was some sporting event like the Olympics or something in London and they were price gouging. The price was through the roof and it kind of broke the spell, so to speak. I've never been since. For a long, long time. Price gouging backfires. Thank you, Jeffrey Waldo. A bit for the drinks fund. Thank you. Much appreciated. I shall buy little tins of cocktails with that. We demand Steve joins us, gets pissed, shaves off his eyebrows. I told him that. I confessed to that, Matt England, what I did, and then drew the new ones on. Every single MBC stream has now been taken down. I just thought you should know that because June randomly one night said, could you remove them all now? I think it's a political thing because he's going for a political job and it can't be seen to be used against him by angry Isle of Man Karens. Contrarians, negatarians. Hotel suite at Silverstone Trackside's over 100,000 per night. Yeah, that's just greed dance at Aardvarks. Isn't there a Northern Plaza? There is, but it's not a real plaza, the El Monk. Never been to that one. Do you fancy going for a few cocktails at the Balmoral sometime, Minky Mooter? The Balmoral. Where is the Balmoral? I'm not really sure. Keep in mind that my working hours, once the job is settled in, are typically 5 p.m. until midnight and beyond. So it kind of rules out evening entertainment. That's why we take drinks in to work and then have them after work because all the pubs are closed. No more NBC streams. There may be NBC streams, Joe Blow, but they won't be left up. They'll be in the moment, which is good. At the Bolton and Northbridge, Minky Muta. Okay, I'm not really sure. Don't know where these places are. Those are my favourite, to be honest, Joe Blow. Do you mean having a drink at work after work? Yeah, if that's what you mean. It's very relaxed. 404 not found. Are you going to give that device featured in the recent video to Kev's wife to test after you make it safe, Clive? No, because her dog will eat it, probably. I've only ever observed outstanding character traits in Dune during the MBC. He is quite extrovert, Christian Herald. This is why he is effectively a commissioner and potential politician. What's the power budget there for lighting? 404 not found. Don't really know actually, but we have our own 1 megawatt substation. That's 11 kV feed for this event that lasts about a month a year. It's full on. Do you have to be loaded to live in Edinburgh, Mr. Eggcake? A pint of beer costs around about £5 versus £3.30 in the Isle of Man. So Edinburgh is an expensive place. I think a lot of that is the huge rates charged by greedy Edinburgh councillors, but I don't really know. Definitely the best place in Edinburgh for proper cocktails. I'm not a super into cocktails, Minky Mootu. I'd rather just make them myself and get something that doesn't involve some fanny behind the bar prancing about and throwing bottles in the air and putting on a show and then charging £10 for a small drink that would otherwise cost you £1 to make. Is that just cheap? Yes. The light blue, it's not blowing out, it's screwed Paul T. It comes on and off of its own accord. Muppet Pastor, no cocktails. Gin and tonic, that's what I've been having. Need to fix that light, Paul T. Need to bypass the RF unit because it is annoying that it goes on and off. What I'd like to do is bypass the RF unit and then just down the current. Unfortunately, the way the ballast is wired, the driver, the cabling comes through the middle of the driver. Very odd. Thank you, Will Lynch. Much appreciated. Do you practice the hobby of amateur radio at all? I don't. I used to. Well, I used to be interested in it, but unfortunately, they were a bit cliquish in the past, so I didn't follow it when I was a kid. It was basically just designed to put people off. It was cliquish. Oh, Balmoral in the corner of North Bridge and Princess Street used to be the North British, I think. Breeze Scotland. Is that one of the ones owned by the G1 group? CFL or LED? It's LED, Craig Matthews. Flash every 90 seconds. Yes, it's odd. Is that a hallway or within an apartment? This is a hall leading to a few bedrooms in a flat. Off to Edinburgh, Leith, for a few days as a mini honeymoon in September. It should be quieter in September. That's after the fringe, so it will be much more affordable. Leith is quite nice. I used to work in Leith at Northern Light, which is now a makerspace, I believe. Sprinkle some holy water light. That would work. Add salt to it as well, Retu Pimok. Best curry house in Edinburgh is Tamanaz Indian on Victory Road. Adds, that's quite a controversial thing because every second shop is a restaurant. Clive, can you remember the Glasgow Fair? Yes, William Ramsey. We used to get the Glasgow Fair off. My dad did, and we go on holiday to Telemann to see my grandparents. Need a drink holder? I do. Minge fringe? Yes, Matt England. It is minging fringe at times. Where many of the people who works on it would be exploited, and some people came to work as technicians on it and ended up being paid so little money with the cost of living here that it actually they ended up out of pocket. And yet, despite the fact they were out of pocket, they were expected to sign a form saying, we take full responsibility for any accidents that happen while we're here. It was that particular venue got shut down for that very reason, for exploiting people. And then they were all like, oh, it's very sad. We've got a wonderful history. Greedy pigs. Anyway, we did get the torrential rain Jerry B VR, but mostly not while we're loading the lights in, which is quite good. We had one burst during setting up some of the lights. A friend of mine just arrived in Embraer today. I'm up at Pasta. What's the bus service like? It's not too bad, Steve Clay, but it stops providing a decent service right before we finish at work. So we normally have to walk back. So we normally walk in and back, even though it's quite a distance. It takes 30 minutes of brisk walking to get to work. Have you been to Disham? Not sure. Balls to underbelly. Callum Rowley. Yeah, they're all exploitative. That's the entertainment industry. Welcome to showbiz. Hope the laptop doesn't get too hot. Cook your sausage and eggs, Satterwolf. It is a Chromebook. It stays relatively cool. Although, do you know what happened recently? I saw an option I've not used before. I've said, do a stress test on your Chromebook. And it got to doing the cache memory and then it crashed. Do you like sci-fi movies? Yes, Matacor, but I don't really get much time to watch TV. However, today I did watch some snippets of Blake Seven and Star Trek, just random snippets on YouTube. Cheapest cocktail at the Balmoral is £15.50. Best stay at home and save the pennies. Leonard Smith. Absolutely. That is just a mockery. That I'm not going to a place like that. It's only for rich fannies. Get the fluff blown out of it. It's pretty clean. I had it open recently to see if I could upgrade the memory in it. You can't. It's soldered in. Very disappointing, yes. It was too stressed out, it was. Maybe I should put it in the fridge first. Greetings, James Randolph. Twice used that word now. Fanny, Monkey Man here. A mocktail. Yes, BBC wants to see your licence. We used to get things put through the letterbox here. Just because you're a student in temporary accommodation doesn't mean you don't have to pay a licence, you know. Everybody has to pay a licence. Yeah. Dive bars are the best bars. They are, Big Goth Kitty. I prefer cheap, trashy places because the people in them are better quality. Was that political? Show us your reasons. What? Won't let me super chat, Mr. Egg Cake. It depends where you are in the world. I can't super chat from the Isle of Man, but I can super chat from here on other channels. Good day, Steve K. Are you up early? If you're saying good day, because you may be in Australia or New Zealand. This is not a test of the emergency broadcast system. Indeed. I got the Red Envelope TV licensing threatening letter this month. They're very collectible. Echo the Husky. You should treasure that. Put it in a frame, perhaps. Lucky you. Amen, indeed, Big Goth Kitty. Although having said that, one of my favourite bars in Glasgow is the Solid Rock, and the cheap drinks aren't cheap. It's a trash clientele, but shall we just say successful trash? They may be scruffy, but they've all got skills and businesses. The coffee is done. I may have some alcohol. Missed you last night, Clive. Got used to watch you every Saturday night. Indeed, Mr. Warwick. It's going to be... Clive, you look tall but relatively thin. I wouldn't say I'm super thin. Talking of which, let's go and get a sugary cocktail. Drinky poos, indeed, Jack Attack. That's exactly what was going through my mind. I'm going to go and grab an iced drink. Look, I'm a thin. Oh, very svelte. No. Let me grab my Poundland crystal glass. It's not crystal. One moment. Hello. Time for a drink.
on
Oh,
the street.
oh, have you just refilled this recently?
Oh shit. Sorry.
That's all right. Steve is through here watching my video. It's a wireless microphone.
I know.
I have to remember not go to the toilet and piss loudly in the middle of the stream.
I'm typing in occasionally.
Ah. Oh, I've not seen that. I don't know what your identity is. Oh, right, okay. Oh, right, okay. By the way, Steve, do you want one of these cocktails?
I'm just assisting.
Okay. Do you want one of these posh ones? Bramble Scottish gin cocktail or tropical gin martini or fruit gin bramble.
I'll try the fruit gin bramble.
Then I shall have the tropical gin martini.
You'll slow me down drinking your gin.
Yeah, that's all right. I got a few cocktail cans today. Not as strong as the ones Vince the Crew Chief got, though. Vince the Crew Chief brought out some cans after, I think it was the first day, the heaviest day of the load-in day. I had some cans, the pubs are all closed. I think the pubs are closed at that point. And he brought some cans out and we just thought, oh, they're just little cocktails like these that are normally 4 or 5%. No, they were between 20 and 30% alcohol. They were not the normal cocktail cans. And we didn't realize that until you took your first mouthful, and then we were a wee bit pissed afterwards because it was very, very potent. I wonder how they designed this part, and I wonder if it's computer, because it's very good. Lovely. Back to the Chromebook. Back to you guys. So, they're all saying, hi, Steve. Greetings, Grant Rennie. You're in Glasgow. I'm in Edinburgh. Polycarbonate, I'm not really sure. Might even be the hard polystyrene. I'm not really sure what this is. It's really a nice, it kind of fits the, if you look at the pattern, it kind of fits the stream image because it is a sort of mosaic-y type pattern. It's quite a complex pattern. I kind of want to shine a light through it and see what happens. Play that belly like a pair of bongos. It's stout. Is it lead plastic? It is Felix Moore. And the Chipmunk, pure 100% lead. Every sip is the equivalent of an ingot of lead. That's quite a dry cocktail. It's not the usually sickly one. It's quite nice. Can't even remember where I got those. Oh, I know, that was from Aldi. But it was the upmarket ones that cost 50 pence more than the cheap ones. You know, that's the luxury. That's a step up. Scrolling up and down. James Randolph, the license is a personal one. Theoretically, you need one pat license. I'm not really sure about that, how that works. I think it is, but I'm not going to get one anyway. Frank, not so random woofle time. Hold on, I'll just gaze in disgust at this red LED flashing smoke detector above me that rules out all woofles. That's why Steve's through in that room, because he wants to puff in his vape, and it's just a heat detector in that room. I found out the alarm system. There's an alarm system in the door of the kitchen that could be bypassed, but it would be quite dramatic if we did bypass it and then set the alarm off. And like the fire brigade were called out, I think we'd get fined. The supercomputer, is it looking good through the glass? Aha, let me see if I can just hold it right up to that. But there's an alarm system on the door, and it's made in Australia. It's actually for cold room alarms, so that if you leave the door of a cold room open, that has two problems. First of all, you're losing all the low temperature out of it. The warm air is rushing in as the cold air flows out. And also, humid air is going in because the condenser, the evaporator, should I say, in a cold room takes all the water out of the air and it forms ice. That's why they have to go through a defrost site on a regular basis. And if you leave the door open, it can defeat that, and it basically just forms a block of ice. Smoke alarm detects vape. It will detect all cloudy particles, even the radioactive ones will detect vape. That's how I sometimes test the ones that I've looked at in the past. Blow vape into them. The optical ones definitely detect it because they see the reflection from the little micro droplet lenses of the vape cloud. Will this drink carbonate? I do not have the soda stream. Ready for the EMP. Not if it happens at the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo Paul T, because I hopefully wouldn't wipe out our lights. But you know what? You've always got to consider that these things could happen. Not sure when it's going to happen. Is there a date on it yet? Is there a date on this strange anticlimax when it just doesn't actually happen? Greetings, Marcus. We need to see Rimmer D three-piece gimp suit. Uh-huh. Smoke alarm or slurp alarm? Slurp alarm maybe, dance to aardvarks. Steam from the shower sets mine off. Yeah, steam and the moisture landing on the circuit board is also an issue. Ian Dawkins, it's not a good place to have it anywhere near where the shower can get it. The glowing green drink will give you superpowers, Monkey Man here. It didn't work with the radioactive, the radium gin. Do you remember the disco stage box, the mirror in the back, 3 rows incandescent lamps? Can we build one with LEDs? If you mean the infinity mirrors, Grant Rennie, yes, you can do it with the LED strip. It works very well with the LED strip. You have a mirror in the back and a half mirror in the front, but try the half mirror material both ways round to see which gives the best effect. They have a different effect. Not so much a hotel room. I would hope I would get more than a single bed in the hotel room. Not that it's actually affected me. I've got used to the single bed very quickly. I do have to make a point of I wake up middle of the night, physically turn over, putting the full weight on my elbows, and then go back down again, and then have to push myself to the side of the bed so the arms don't flop off the side. It's not designed for big people. I am in Scotland at the moment, New Rock Boy. Wasn't EMP last Thursday? Oh, have I missed it? Tom Houston, it's a load of shite. I really don't think it's a real thing. Horavac says, Rimmer D is Steve. How do we know this? How have you worked that out, if that is the case? 3 teaspoons Jacobs, 5 sugar, all in a 500 milliliter mug. Perfect. Gatval. Jacobs? What's Jacobs? I thought Jacob's Ladder. Student accommodation indeed, dance at Aardvarks for very non-demanding people. Use the same film sold for window tinting as for an infinity mirror. That's not a bad idea, Dennis. It would be a cheap way to do it. Snap the mattress. It's not. It makes strain noises, but that's all right. I put my own bedding on it because it is a waterproof plastic mattress, and they give you hotel type sheets, which are basically just a rag of unhemmed material. And it basically, as you turn over in the night, the sheet slides out and you end up lying on blue plastic. It's horrible. So I put a fitted sheet on. I tried to do an infinity mirror, but the adhesive in the LED strip outgassed and fogged the acrylic. Did it really? That's weird, Saberty. I thought you were going to say it just fell off. I think that's my job tomorrow, is to put lots of LED tape in the risers. Let's ruin Steve's political career aspirations. He has no aspirations. He's fine as he is. Ah. Students spend a lot of time in the bar, sometimes the floor. Indeed, Rob Smith. I'm pretty sure that a lot of alcohol gets consumed here. Scream loudly, I'm the best YouTuber in the UK. I'm not, though, Ludio's film. I even got overtaken in Isle of Man not that long ago by a young kid who's got a gaming channel. Manx Ninja Pig. He's doing very well. You need some nice rubber sheets. No need, DCL. That's what the bed feels like already. It's plastic. It's urine proof, apparently. I've not tested that. Big Goth Kitty is heading out. Have a good evening to you as well, Big Goth Kitty. I tied the sheet to the bedpost. All right, okay. Sounded some sort of like sling. Thanks to the boric acid trip to kill ants, it works perfectly and saved me a fortune. Indeed, Ian Dawkins. They can't resist it when mixed with sugar. I have a question, Big Clive. Does the Isle of Man have the flag on their car registration plates? Not all of them, you rock boy, but I have seen it in some of them. I don't think it's on every single one, but it's very distinctive because it's either EMN or, well, it's either MN, I think it is EMN, MAN, MN, or other things, but the MN is a constant in the actual number plates. That room needs some colour, yes. Steve's ears are burning, probably because he's got big headphones on, Monkey Man here. Plastic sheets must be gross sleep on when it's hot. When it's too hot, Randy, I sleep on top of the quilt I've got here. And sometimes get a big towel and just lay it over the top. As long as there's something over the top of me, I can sleep well. At a project for a moment there, as mattress is urine proof, we're going to test that. Yes, that'd be a really odd video to make, Chipmunk. Maybe I'll test it before the job's finished. Chat later, mate. I'm off, says Richard T. Catch you later, Richard. Going for a single fish. Enjoy your single fish, Jag Attack. There's a snake under my doorstep. That's not nice. Are you bothered about that, Chine North Air Guns? I've seen a car downtown. The word Manx is a number plate. Indeed. Do you know the Otis, the main, like basically, because Isle of Man's not that big, there's one Otis engineer, I think, and it's basically O1 IS Man or something like that, but it basically looks a bit like Otis Man, which is quite amusing. Had to see a man about a horse. What to miss? Not an awful lot, Monkey Man here, just and random rambling. Oh, China North Air Guns, I like snakes. Well, that's you sorted then. Here's Sneaky, 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 and put down snacks for it. Ah. 071S man. Ah, I think that is it. I'm not sure. Oh, Scruff Dog's here. Greetings, Scruff Dog. What superpower would Otis Man have? The ability to fix elevators, Top Smoke. Clive looks like an old baggy t-shirt and boxers kind of sleeper to me. Sometimes that is the case when it's too hot. 16-year-old corn snake names Orihime. Oh, okay. 16-year-old, didn't know they lived that long. I've never seen a snake in the UK. You get adders, very rarely you get adders and grass snakes, I think, but I've never seen a snake myself in the UK, other than in terrariums. Grimshaw, any 3D printer enthusiasts in the house, should I sell my privacy down the river for a bamboo lab printer? Oh, not sure. Can spawn an elevator without shaft, Verdewolf. Is this game freaks? Are you frightened of spiders? Not really. I've seen a couple in here. I noticed Man would have to fight his nemesis as Schindler Man. I'm not sure if it's Schindler on the island, Horvath. Don't know. There are a few lift engineering companies. One is electrical engineering companies. Oh, there are snakes loose in London eating pigeons, escaped pets. Oh, lovely, Grant Rainey. That's not great. Have you ever done anything to do with cutting resistors and SD extension leads? I'm not sure what you mean, John Payne. Spiders are great, says Mr. Eggcake. I'm not so sure about that. I saw an advertisement for an elevator engineer the other day. I thought I know someone that would like to do that. Indeed, Laser2120. It's a very diverse job. And they're always looking to employ people. So if you've got good mechanical skills and the ability to pick up electrical and electronic stuff, it's a job worth considering. Tony Nicholson says, I have a 63-year-old trouser snake. I see. That's quite old. Nope, something's saying they got bit by an adder. Dancer Aardvark's got bit by an adder. Docs gave me paracetamol, not a problem for most people apparently. Yeah, it's low toxicity. It's not strong venom. Corn snakes living on the Thames banks in Wales too apparently. Is bicarbonate of soda and superglue conductive? I've never tested that, Gary Hardman. Maybe something worth testing. SD card extension leads. I've never actually come across an SD card extension lead, John Payne. Never done that. I don't think, given for the data speed, you'd have to be quite careful with that. The problem with the lift job, it's very up down. The real problem, Simon, is when you're on call, but it's not such an issue if you're in the installation of them. As it started, it has started, Norman Swan. Mr. Eggcake, small teeth. I see. I could do a live teardown and part harvest of an old Zenith console TV this Saturday. If anyone wants to watch, maybe a Paul, says Scruff Dog. Interesting. Mega Wayne D is another channel in the UK that collects a lot of TVs and fixes them up. Oh, also, I've got quite a few friends who love the old cathode ray tube TVs. They just seem one of those things like washing machines, hoovers, fans, TVs, that some people just avidly collect them. Morning, James K. If it's morning again, you're New Zealand, I think? I'm not sure. Much talk about banning disposable vapes due to children addicted to them. They're not. It's not the banning them because they're addicted to them, Grant Rennie. It's because of the waste, I think. Having said that, I've not been vaped for a long time. I did get addicted to vaping. It was very obvious I was addicted to nicotine, but I just ended up one day just stopping. So that answered that question. Yes, you can give up vaping. I think they were banning them because of the waste of the lithium cells. I only found one so far this year. Do you know what? It was an elf bar. I don't know if it was a real one because the liquid carrier inside was smaller, and also it only had a 350 milliamp hour lithium cell instead of 500 milliamp hour. Was it a clone or was it just they've gone cheap? SD card extensions using 3D printers. Never used one. It's just to save the port in the 3D printer. Ah. Lumi Bear wood pigeons are nice though. Do you mean eating them? Oh, what do I think about the actors? Not the actors, it's a screenwriter strike, isn't it? They don't like the fact that AI can write scripts. What can you do? Not really sure. There's a limit to what you can actually write in a script. A lot of them are ultimately the same with slight modifications in the theme. Do you think it's possible to make lifts that move sideways well up and down? They already exist, Ariane Llewellyn. Is it... Who is it? Is it Cone? I'm not sure. Cone, Schindler, Otis, TKE, it might be TKE, have a lift that goes sideways as well as up and down, but it's pretty dangerous looking because the lift goes up to level and then the lift stays still, but the track rotates behind it and then it actually goes sideways. The rescuing passengers from it is much more complex, and it also looks like it could mutilate lift engineers too. It doesn't look great. Collector of TVs, valve ones from the 40s and 50s perhaps. Yes, James Speakman. All TVs. Ultimately, any with cathode ray tubes that people are obsessed. I'm pretty sure that in the future, you'll get people who hoard LCD TVs too. I have lots of card readers with like 25 centimeter cords and that's reasonable enough. I wonder if it impacts the speed. I saw a seagull kill a pigeon outside McDonald's last week. It used to happen all the time in George Square. TKE elevators both ways in test tower. They have, Norm Swan. Quite complex. I'm waiting a traffic warden strike with eager anticipation. Yeah, lots of sympathy will be going there. J, excess deaths are up 21%. The government won't discuss it. What are your thoughts? I don't know. I'd have to see the real statistics. Deaths vary dramatically from year to year. Keep in mind a lot of people who were protected during pandemic because everybody was in isolation and everybody was wearing masks and sterilization. So it wouldn't surprise that people who were spared from, who were close to succumbing to flu, got taken out by the flu after the thing. St. Louis arch lifts go diagonal. They're kind of different, Numi. They're kind of weird. And they auto level with a loud whirring noise in the process. Luxor in Las Vegas has inclinators that go diagonally. Indeed they have. They've been around a while. Monkey Man here. They have gone cheap. All the recent ones are 360 milliamp. That's just greed, George Spilling. Because the cells used to be matched to the amount of liquid in them really accurately. They must have done a lot of research at the factory. So they must have scaled everything down just so they could make more money. Greedy bastards. Or maybe it's just because lithium cell costs are going up. But I noticed that the prominent players in the vape industry have already, they've for a while, like Geek Bar and Elf Bar, have had a version that is rechargeable with disposable cartridges, which is the correct way to do it. How would we know if the writers are using AI and getting paid? The writers may be using AI, you just don't know. And then proofreading it. I've got hundreds of uses of one's use vape cells. Suggestions of storing them. I actually printed a little rack for storing them. I would recommend, if you look through my past scripts, is that still about? Did I release that as a short? Not sure. But I've released a script in the past that you type in the diameter of what you want to store, how thick you want the walls, how tall you want it, if you want a hole in the base, and then you tell it how many X, how many Y, and it creates the file for you. I use that for storing them, but I also put them in metal enclosure where they can't short, just so that in case something happens, it's just precaution. Apple says no FaceTime and iMessage UK proposals made law. BBC News. Jesus Christo, I'm not even sure what these are. The background is creepy liminal space vibes, Lou and Bear. It's very liminal space. It's just doors along a corridor. It has that feel to it. The backrooms. Matt England, I should send a THC vape now you've escaped the penal colony IOM for a few weeks. THC stream, the Isle of Man is just everybody's puffing cannabis. It's very common over there. Would anyone notice the BBC went on strike? I wouldn't. I carved a block of foam and have it in a biscuits tin. That would work too. The main thing is if you're gathering all those cells, usually by the time you pick them up, they are at half charge anyway because they've been used and they seem to just stop at half charge, which is good. But the main thing is to make sure that if you're going to store them for a long time, leave them at half charge until you've got a project. My project at the moment, Clive is not scripted, right? It is not scripted, Pooch Maxi. But one thing I've had running for a while, let me grab it, is this pendant I showed last week. I just left it on. So this glowing pendant has just been a little, almost like a nightlight in the room. It's just been glowing all the time. It runs for a very long time on a charge of the Geek Bar cell. I shall throw that over there. Mr. Eggkick says, hi Beardy, greetings. Or is that aimed at me? Or is that someone else? There's lots of people with beards. It's a natural thing. I'll just put this in front of the camera and then top it up. Forecasts are worse, but Darren Bet is fit, I think. I don't even know what that means. Christian Herald. Let's try not to pause the stream on the keyboard. Pension of truth, it could well be. Raven Looney, my beard's out of control, time to shave it, or just trim it down a bit. Let me scoot to the end here. What is the latency anyway? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 seconds, it's all right. I am very beardy, says Christian. No, it was Mr. Eggcake. Aha. What time are you going to bed, Steve Clay? Not too bad, because I think tomorrow is a 5 o'clock start, but not sure yet. It's going to be just doing maintenance tomorrow and fitting the LED tape into the risers. I've ordered a new battery charging system for them because we're going for our 24 volt system this year. It was 4 to 8 volts last year for great big batteries that were really heavy. It's got a strange pneumatic lifting system in the risers this year. I'll show it maybe later at some point. Pseudomemes, in your recent video you showed an ionization-based gas detector. Could I build one using an old smoke detector? I'm not really sure how well that would work. It's almost like it's treating it as an ionization resistor, so I'm not really sure that would work. Happy little fox, Achy Benji, I have a 7mm beard. That's the itchy stage. When it goes beyond that, it's much fine, better. No for colloidal silver go. What? Dunno, F-Dog16. And maybe CS doesn't stand for colloidal silver. I saw you wave at 0, so it must be strange latency. Did your printer survive in storage? Yes, it did. Pooch Maxi. Like the bottom half inch of the first print was a bit weird, the colour, and then it was just back into normal action. It's producing fine prints. Have you taken a handheld air quality tester yet? I have looked at various things. I've got some units that measure various things. Oh, CS is CompuServe. Oh, that's old. Chipmunk. Was that Thursday stream? There was no Thursday stream because I was working. Pseudomeme's going to turn blue. What? Could you make some headcam vids of fault finding? Not so sure about that, Craig Matthews. I have to be careful what I film in the job because some areas can't really be shown for security reasons. CS is computer science. Oh, right, okay. CSGO is an online game? I don't know. I haven't a clue. I don't play the games. Mr. Eggshot tickles my chest hair. Ah. Ever take apart an ultrasonic leak detector? No, Michael Moore, but I have built a bat detector which used an ultrasonic transducer, a massive gain amplifier, then a binary divider, just by creating it into a square wave, clocked the binary divider like a 4040, and then just basically amplified it through a speaker to click a speaker an octave or two down so you could hear it. Lumi Bear, my beard's about 40 centimetre. Everyone in my family hates it, but I'm attached to it. It's, yes, but well, that was the joke, but no, nobody's right. If a woman says, I don't like your beard, you should shave it off, tell her, I don't like your hair, you should shave it off, and see what happens. A massive amplifier, it is a Kirka. All amplifiers are gay. CS is my initial, says Stinky Mo. Clues. The King of Scotland gets cross about it, Mr. Eggcake, indeed. My sound is warbly. Excellent, Weaselbox. Don't ask about the DMX Vandal, indeed, Rimmer D. Or, indeed, the Ring Intercom Friendship Terminator. Or just the fart. The Ring Intercom Flatulence unit would be quite good. Got a dodgy light beside yes, Voltaire 2M stereo. It's super futuristic eco-saver lights that they all malfunctioned. Almost every LED light they've put in is malfunctioning. Welcome to the future. How wonderful they are. The beard taste of women is not a fact from my life. No, it is not. If it alienates them, this is good. I once shaved my beard and was told by my wife to grow it back. That's good, Captain Beardy. That happens a lot. That's Kevin did the same, and his wife wanted him to grow it back, Nicola, because she preferred having her big hunky Kevin. Oh, Tom Houston, my lockdown beard reached my waist. See, this is it for me. It doesn't really grow much longer than chest height. That's my terminal length of the beard, which is handy. Standard deviation. Good evening, Clive. So glad I caught the stream. That's good. For reference, it is going on for about 15 minutes longer. Streetlights in the blink again, flickering, driving me mad, Paul Norman. That's what happens. If you're in the know, Paul Norman, you could go out, you could open the pillar and you could just pull the isolation on that one, depending what system it is. Wear gloves. Oh shoot, I forgot about a different time. I just put a LED dusted on bulb, go out, interest design. I believe it has a light sensor within the base. No, that's not apparent where it is. And John Possum. I work with Clive, don't know who Kevin is, says Rumour D. It's a friend in the Isle of Man who appears in the NBC streams. Wear gloves, indeed. Thank you, Christian Howard. Thank you for Kevin Clive. Observing mateship warms our hearts. I wait patiently for Kevin content, and James thanks the spaces you create. My beard is thick but doesn't grow longer than about 4 inches, Gatval Fury. Everybody's beard is different. Savour the natural growth, particularly if it's thick, is always quite good. So other things. Anything else interesting out in the job this year? No. The cannons probably were wired for the fastest first time. I also discovered my DMX cat, which is you can program lights using what's called RDM, remote device management. Is that right? I think it is. It turns out it's not compatible with every system, and when connected to an RDM light, it just didn't recognize it, and that annoyed me a bit. Their software is not great. That particular company seems to have a factor of crap software. Tricky. Franco Walker says, I have to go soon. Take care, everyone. Much love to you all. Maybe catch up with you next week, which will be Sunday again, most likely. I tried resetting the tumble dryer here. We've got a laundry here with washing machines that are operated via an app. And you put credit in the app and you scan a QR code in the machine and its display. And then it sends a signal back to the machine saying, that it's ready to go, and then you press start. But one of the machines was showing an error code, and I contacted the laundry company, and they asked if we could turn it off and on again, leave it off for 10 minutes. I did, but after about a minute again, when it was turned on, it went into alarm mode again. It's faulty. It suggests it's lost communication with its control system. QR code laundry, that's so cool, except Weaselbox when you don't have the app and people walk into the laundry room and don't know how to make the machines work. Bloatware, probably Mr. Eggcake, but it means there's no cash involved. All the cash is collected via PayPal and other sources, so they don't have to worry about that. Probably they're all connected to the internet, Raven Looney. So they're going to have to send someone out, and it's going to be more than just switching it off and on. Do you have any pets, Clive? Not these days, Will Lynch. I harvest neighbourhood cats with treats, and then they come in and get petted. No commitment. Greetings back to Canada. First time chat, I've been watching a long time. First able to catch it. Aha. Welcome to the stream, but it is only on for another 10 minutes. And then I'll be joining Steve through there and probably drinking cocktails again. When's the Edinburgh meetup? Relatively soonish, Minky Mutu. I have to wait until the job's up and running before I can actually do that. So it's going to be fairly shortish notice, as usual. Captain Beardy, laundry, I have a wife for that. Oh, you should get a machine instead. They're much cheaper. Your Harvest Cat sounds a bit iffy, James Speakman. Basically, they're all programmed to recognise dreamies. Shake a bag of dreamies outside your door and a cat will turn up. Yes, Steve is saying I've made an appearance before, maybe again this year if I can get out of this gimp suit. Indeed, he's always in his gimp suit. But that's just one of the requirements of the two. Occasional audio breakup, just so you know. Not sure what's causing that. Maybe just a glitch over the internet. Just before the stream, the network I'm on here just decided to kick the phone off and get me to sign into it again and go through a audit procedure and send a code to the phone to actually connect back to the internet again. Shikabag Gummies was a punk hit in 1977. Jesus Christo. Okay. What sort of gummies would have been then? 1977. Mr. Eke, I made friends with a cat in France. Cats make good friends. Weaselbox says, leave your back door open. A kitty will crawl on the futon with you. Absolutely. Catnip also works. I sprinkled catnip down for little Hutchie, a local stray cat that visits a lot. Not that stray, she lives next door's garage. And other cats decided to savour it as well. And I found a few cats lying in the porch, snorting catnip. Crush up dreams of water mixed with catnip equal ultimate cat goodies. Not sure if that would work, Hooker One UK. They do make catnip dreamies, but to be honest, the cats don't seem to recognise what they are. Monkey Man here saying ESR on the coin cell is high enough. Is this coin cell operated LED flashlights? Paul T is Steve inappropriately dressed or undressed. He always walks around in his underpants. What are dreamies, Monkey Man here? They're a treat for cats that I think are based on yeast, and the cats go nuts for them. Grow some catnip, you can get the seeds easy enough. I used to have a catnip plant and it was destroyed by the cats. I put a cage over it to keep them away from it, and they tore the cage off and then just demolished it. Coin cell operated 5 mil LED. Question was asked previously, Monkey Man here. It's a common enough thing. What was the photon microlight? Was the first little tiny key fob light that used that. It was quite neat. So I've been ordering some random things, not too many things, and trying to get them sent either to two or here. We'll see what happens. I may try another option to get one picked up at a local shop. Oh, really? My cat didn't respond to catnip, but valerian, yes, as I found out in making the tea. Valerian? Jessica Haynes. That is I think valerian is quite a common plant in the Isle of Man. There's a Japanese island populated by cats. Indeed, I've come across that. Quite neat. Hey, big guy, what did I miss, Rory McLeod? Most of it, I'm afraid, because the stream is going on for another 6 minutes. I had a string of LEDs operated by a coin cell wired to 5-volt USB with current limiting resistor. Yeah, typically about, depending on the length of string, 100 ohms is okay, or 10 ohms. I actually have a little thing charging here. It's a lithium charger. It's a TP4056, but it's charging a AA nickel metal hydride cell because because the voltage is low, it goes into the recovery mode, and it's set for 500 milliamps, so it only charges the nickel metal hydride cell at 50 milliamps. You can use it like that. It's a bit naughty, but you know, it works fine. They're not super bright, are they? That's them flashing, as you can see. They're very dim. Really too dim. They've chosen white LEDs and coloured covers. This is from Sainsbury's as well. I thought they'd be better than that. They actually don't compare for brightness favourably to a Poundland string, which is brighter, but costs a bit more than a pound. £3. Not bad for something with an amorphous silicon panel. That was Steve walking past the door. There's Soylent Green cat treats, possibly, Paul T. They could make them out of cats. Most supermarkets have their own version of Dreamies. Valerian common in seaside places. I'd have to look at it. Oh, I'm going to look up valerian right now. Hold on. Valerian. I think that's, I think that's the stuff that's growing all around my garden, yes. Dietary supplement in the United States. It's a common ingredient for products promoted as mild sedatives and sleep aids for nervous tension and insomnia. Basically just everything. In reading, there's a 99p shop, Mark Robson. They'll probably struggle to get decent stuff for 99p. There used to be lots of 99p shops. Valerian was also the scary lady in Carry On Screaming. Was she? Can't remember, Zadster. Officer Bun, 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 as she said. Not sure about the Valerian thing. I miss a pound that used to be in town. They are good. Oh, I'm not sure about. Maybe it's a different one that I'm thinking of than the stuff that I've seen. It tends to be white, pink, and red, the stuff I'm thinking of. Valerian gives me nightmares. Excellent, Bowden. That's well worth taking it for then. Ah, Valerian was played by the lovely Fenella Fielding. She was very good, Zadster. I like the film Carry On Screaming, not just because the two big monsters are wearing boiler suits in it. It's a good film. All the Carry On films are pretty good. Hold still, you're triggering the motion light in the hallway. No, Punch Maxi, it just triggers itself all the time. It basically stays on and just dips out and goes back on again. And another one sometimes lights but goes out when you go near it, when you need the light. It plunges you into the dark. It's very strange. You think stuff that butterflies like? No, not the purple plant that just dominates everything. I've got too much of that in the garden as well. The garden is overgrown. Mr. Eggcake, ooh, boiler suits, yes. Why don't viewers ever hit the like button? They don't have to. I'm not too bothered by that. Does the light do that all night? Yes, you can't control it. Buddleia, that's the one, Tom Houston, Buddleia. It grows like wildfire locally. A Karen is now a Marjorie. Well, I'll try remembering that, but it's not fair in the Marjories. And there it goes again. Can Steve give us an end of stream windmill? No, Minky Moo 2. Because his weenie is too small, probably. It's probably not. I don't know. I'm not going to look. Our garden has been taken over by Buddleia. It does grow. It grows like a tree, chipmunk, but it does. It's lovely. It smells nice and it looks great, that purple and green. Toast to Tony Bennett. Who's Tony Bennett? Who is Tony Bennett? Tony, hold on. Bennett, American singer. What was his song then? What was his famous song? Tony Bennett has just died. Oh, is that the date? It's not as bad as I thought it was. He was 96. I'd say they last for ages. I don't know. What was his most famous track? I am not home. I am working, LGRFBS. I miss Tina Turner. Indeed. Budley a bloody weed. It is a bit of a weed, Thomason, but only to those type of gardeners who like playing plant eugenics. Music keeps you young, as does acting, apparently. I'm inclined to think that the reason actors and musicians live so long is because they don't actually have to do work after they've released their works from the past. The royalties keep them going for a long time. Kevin Mitnick. I don't know who that is either. 4 not found. You live for years if you are rich. Ah. Makes me wonder what kills people. Don't know. Private Dancer. Did he write that? Is this The Way to Amarillo? Really? Oh, that's quite famous songs. He was the archetypal crooner. Archetypal crooner. I don't know how to pronounce archetypal, but the typical crooner. That'll do. Popular for a long time. Captain Crunch wiggly videos, indeed, with a little whistle for the tone and the phone system. They live long because they have enjoyable lives, Simon Allen. Although having said that, some actors lived quite stressful lives, particularly the bit work actors, because they'll just never know where their money's coming back in. Kevin Mitnick, his problem, oh no, was it Captain Crunch? Ah, that's a shame. Now I am upset if Kevin Mitnick is dead. Famous. What age did he live to? Hold on, Kevin Mitnick. For those who don't know, Captain Crunch is so called as a hacker because he found that a free whistle thing in a packet of cereal was just the right frequency that using it in a phone emulated a code that you didn't normally have access to and let you do things with exchanges. Ledger computer hacker dies at 59. See, that's not so great, is it? 59 is not good. That's 1 year older than me. He probably sat in front of a computer a lot and ate chips. Potato fries, not sure. Convicted hacker, back in the old days when every hacker was a major criminal because of films like War Games and hysteria in the media. Much like they're doing with AI at the moment. Have you got a night light there? I'd just leave, see these lights that are lighting me at the moment? There, you click the switch, it's a standard main switch, and it turns it on and off. But if you hold it, it dims down or it dims up. And the lowest setting is just a gentle glow. I've been leaving it on at night. The thing is he really what you'd call a hacker in the same sense as some of the more hardcore ones these days? I'm not really sure. Don't know what he did later on. Blue boxes, damn keyboard. Absolutely, Randy. May have used. Which is the correct colour for this? It was blue, but it's the one that dials DTMF tones through a little rubber cup. I used to abuse the phone system for amusement, but not in a destructive manner. Kevin wasn't captain. Hold on. Hacker, Captain Crunch. John Draper. Oh, right, so it wasn't Captain Crunch. Ah, different then. Nobody lives forever, they don't. As long as they enjoy their life, that's the main thing. That's no hacker, that's a freaker. It is a freaker, indeed, felon. Phone freakers. Anyway, the stream is now slightly overrunning, but I will be back next Sunday. I'll see what I can do with the patrons. I think the patrons are probably just going to be little snippets of backstage stuff all through the week. Not really sure. They've already had 3 little backstage snippets. And by snippets, I mean literally 20-second bursts of me just, while I'm working, just whip out the phone, record something, and then put the phone away again. I can't really afford to stop and make a big long video because I'm working. And it's been quite intense over the last week. Honestly, as I say, That's the heaviest rig of lights we've ever had in this job. The arms are aching, the back's aching a wee bit, the ankles are aching, everything's aching. I'm all bruised and black and blue and cut up. It's just been a fairly intense load-in. But now it's all going to be hopefully a bit easier from now on. Thank you again, Christian Harold. But anyway, the stream is now coming to an end, and I will catch up with you next week. Have fun, take care, and I shall see you then. Good night, or good day, or whatever it is.